Hey, it's Joe Talentino from iKnowJax.com. This has been a really busy week for me because I'm putting the finishing touches to our February 10th event where we're doing our 300th episode party. Now it's going to be great because we're going to have barbecue and beer and lots of fun. We'll even have a few giveaways, and this time we're having our event at Atlantic Beach Brewing Company. Now we're taking over the back room, so there's a limited amount of space, but that means that you have to get your tickets now. You can find all the information about that on iKnowJax.com or Eventbrite. Now, I wanted to show you this story from the Dado Pepper Festival because Shane from Ends BBQ is the guy who's catering our 300th party. After you see this, I know you'll understand why I picked their barbecue. I wanted to find out how to make award-winning barbecue, so I headed down to St. Augustine to meet with Shane, who was getting ready to prepare a Dado pepper-infused Carolina-injected whole hog.
And then you want to move about every 2 inches because we've got about 8. You can see where I've injected already.
Ends BBQ has won the People's Choice Award 3 years in a row at the Dado Pepper Festival, and now Shane was hoping to get his 4th win. There's a lot of work that goes into prep. Luckily, Shane has help. This is Wayne. There's also a lot of technique and skill involved in this. Next is the rub. So what you got in next? Brown sugar and what else?
Brown sugar, black pepper, garlic, onion, salt, cumin.
Shane tells me that they run the smoker at 230 degrees. Now that's a lot of meat to carry.
Got it? Look at that, boy. I think we're ready.
Do it.
Let's do it.
It's about midnight. That's perfect timing. Shane lights the smoker. The hog is now going to slowly smoke and will be ready first thing in the morning. Now I went home and slept in my own bed, but Shane and Wayne stayed on site all night to watch over the smoker. The Dado Pepper Festival is an annual festival taking place at the St. John's Agricultural Center every October. Here you can find all kinds of vendors. Dado pepper sauces, Dado pepper plants, and even Dado pepper t-shirts. Basically, there's everything Dado pepper you can imagine. And then there's, of course, the very popular cook-off competition. Tell me how you got started in all this barbecue mess.
In my backyard, cooking for friends, Joe. I'm a people person.
I hadn't noticed this about you.
No, not at all. So I like to entertain.
Okay.
And I like to show off my skill when it's right. So the wife actually bought me a smoker for my birthday. Man, if I could go back and get the money that I had that wasted on trial and error, we'd be millionaires. But through it all, 14 years later, here we are with Ends BBQ. We've been in the truck, give or take, about 20 months. We started off slow, doing weekend events, night events, and finally I just said, you know what? This is my calling. We got to go.
So tell me a little bit about what you're making today.
Well, today we did a Dado Carolina injected whole hog, our famous crack mac, but we infused it with Dado pepper. What goes best with barbecue?
Beer?
I agree. If we didn't have beer, what would be your next option?
Sweet tea.
Not just sweet tea, Dado sweet tea.
And it has that nice little slow burn on the back end, baby.
It does. It's sweet, and then it's got a subtle burn, and it's gone in about 15, 18 seconds until you drink it again.
And what are your predictions for today? You haven't opened up the lines yet, so
you know.
Go ahead, put your foot in your mouth. Look, I got to get this on camera.
I'm going in to win. There's a lot of love that goes into this. Everything we do is house made. Even our sides, our sauces, Joe. Even the injections that you saw last night, I make all of those. Right. Our mustard, our Dado sweet, our sweet Carolina, all house made. It's a win-win situation, really, when you're putting out a good product. The food truck is the way to go. I love it. I love it.
So Can we look forward to you being one of those food trucks that transitions to the other side, so to speak?
Let's not get this twisted. The food truck can never go anywhere. We are actually working on going brick and mortar the first of the year. I can't tell you when. We're still in the makings of it, but the food truck will still stay on the road.
While Shane and his team served up barbecue, I went to see what else there was to taste at the Battle Pepper Festival. And finally, it was time to find out if Shane and his crew was going to win for the 4th year in a row.
Burn Ends BBQ, and if you don't smell smoke, it's a joke.
Now, I love people who are passionate about what they do, and I can honestly say that Shane is one of those guys. Now, here at iKnowJax, I try my best to support our local businesses. I want to make sure that Jacksonville keeps its unique flavor and doesn't get overtaken by big box stores and chains. Now, you can help me by doing this. Next time you go out to eat, choose a local place. I was just talking about how I want to help our area keep its local flavor. It's something that's really close to my heart, and it's difficult for small businesses to get the word out and compete with big box stores and chains. Now, if this is something that you're into and you want to help, I have a suggestion for you. Go to my website and sign up for our ambassador program. See, I'm looking for people to help me work on special projects and help spread the word about the importance of buying local. You can find more information about the ambassador program at iKnowJax.com/ambassador. Now, our friends at Really Good Beer Stop in Jax Beach feel strongly about local businesses and local craft beer. And thanks to their support, we're able to bring you a new installment of What's Brewing in Jax every week. Hey, and welcome to What's Brewing in Jax. Every week I take a look at what's happening in the craft beer scene in Jacksonville. I'm at Really Good Beer Stop on 3rd Street in Jax Beach, and today I'm having a syncopathic sour from Distill. Now, I've known Florence for a few years, and she does a lot of good stuff in the community. And she's recently opened Conscious Eats right next door to Hyperion Brewing Company. Now, she's organizing a bi-weekly event called Conscious Mingle, where thoughtful discussion is served up with food and drink. And that takes place on Thursday, February 8th. At Bold City, they're treating their popular brews in new ways on every Thursday. And on Thursday, February 8th, a beer with a, to me, really intriguing name, King Cake Killer Whale. Now, you can get into the Mardi Gras Festival spirit, and that starts at 3 p.m. Now, Bold City only has a half-barrel keg, which is about 15 gallons or approximately 124 pints. So when the King Cake Killer Whale is gone, it's gone for good. On Saturday, February 10th, Atlantic Beach Brewing Company is doing a bottle release that is perfect for Valentine's Day. It's the Red Velvet Cake Stout. Now, don't tell anyone, but I actually got a sneak taste the other day. Is that really a thing? In any case, I loved it. It's dark with a slight reddish tint, and it tastes better than any red velvet cake I've ever had because it's got alcohol in it. So if you're looking for something to give me for Valentine's Day. Now, on the same day, Saturday, February 10th, we're also tapping the iKnowJax collaboration beer that they brewed for us. It's a white chocolate stout. Now, I've never tasted that before, so I'm really excited about it. Now, if you'd like to taste it too, you need to come on by. We're also having a big party for the 300th episode. Just go to iKnowJax.com to find out more about that. Now, I was giving you ideas for Valentine's Day earlier, and here's another one that I love. It's Dahlia's Poorhouse on King Street because they're getting ready for their annual meat event. I think it's something like their 5th year for this event, and I went a couple of years ago and loved it. And this year they're pairing up 5 delicious meats with cheesecake and macarons imported from France. The event takes place on Valentine's Day. That's on Wednesday, February 14th. And wouldn't that be a great way to spend Valentine's Day? Well, that's it for this time. Now, if you want to try out the syncopathic apricot sour from Distill, you need to hurry here because Really Good Beer Stop, they rotate their beers on tap all the time, so there's always something new. Cheers! Jacksonville Beach's ultimate craft beer and growler store. Next, we're going south of Jacksonville to St. Augustine and visit a really cool place, Creme de la Coco. I'm down in beautiful St. Augustine on San Marco at Creme de la Coco, checking out. They do sweets, and I'm not normally a sweets guy, but I'm gonna go back in the kitchen and check out what they got going.
It's kind of cool to put chocolates in edible packages.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making an edible chocolate sphere to put the chocolates inside of.
And what's this called so people can know what to order when they come?
I mean, we call it kind of the Wonder Ball. Obviously, there's things like that already. But
I was going to call it Amaze Balls.
Amaze Ball. You can call it whatever you want.
That's not okay, maybe. A little bit science.
Absolutely.
A lot of tasty.
Part of the reason I like it is the art and science mix, and it seems to make people happy. We've done some dinners where people use these to put over desserts and things like that.
Got you, okay.
But I like it when everything's sort of like a one-off. Like it's just, to me, it's got
a snowflake. I got it.
Exactly, exactly. That way, it's just got a little bit of its own personality. It looks pretty good, so we're about 72, 75. Give it a swirl. And so you can start to see sort of the patterns that you're gonna come up with. We'll be putting, you can pick what type of chocolates you want in there.
Right.
You can sort of put anything you want, mini macarons, mini cookies, pretty much anything.
I think my name, Amaze Balls, is something that should stick.
Hey, Amaze Balls is not that bad. It is not that bad. So basically the ultimate purpose of what we're doing is you're kind of letting it set. So when you temper chocolate, it's liquid and then you're tempering it back. So chocolate's crystalline structure, so you need it to crystallize properly. The crystal you're looking for is beta 6. There's 6 crystals in there. So beta 6 is what we're shooting for. And so you can see here how it's starting to look a little more matte than shiny.
Right.
So it sets pretty quickly. Once it starts setting, it goes. So in the winter, it's a lot better because it's colder.
So did you pay attention in science class? It sounds like you did. Because I might have sat in the back of the class. I'm just saying.
I did all right. You know, the product of scientists. Both my parents are scientists.
Oh,
so,
are they? Okay,
yeah,
well, good for you.
Sort of ingrained a little bit in there.
I didn't have that.
That's okay. So I turned science into food. That's where I went. I'm going to flick it in behind it because with the white behind it, it will make those spots pop through once it's set.
So tell me, how did you get started in all this cooking stuff? You say your parents were scientists, and you just started messing around in the kitchen, or?
Well, when I was 13, I made a deal with them. Got to a point where I was just like, hey, look, you guys get me what I want, and I'll make dinner whenever. Right. So I got a grill and just started making dinner all the time.
There you go.
Pastry was never the intention, you know, but it just kind of went that way, and here we are. So this is a 58% dark chocolate. I have it tempered already. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cast these shells. So
when we say tempered, that means melted, right?
To a degree. So basically, to temper chocolate, you need to take it up to a certain temperature, which melts all of the crystals of those 6 crystals I talked about. So you need to take it up to about 108 or above, and that melts all of the crystals. And then to re-temper it down is you're going to bring dark chocolate to about 88 to 91 degrees.
Okay.
So
it's about the feel for it.
It is. It's a feel thing. And what I found with chocolate is either you can do it or you can't.
Right.
It's a very touch-based thing.
You ever look at something when you're done and go, I made that.
Every once in a while.
Just every once in a while?
Well, it just depends. Honestly, that mostly happens with the way things taste. Sometimes I'm like, we'll see how this goes.
What was the last thing that you went?
It was probably the apple caramel that I made.
Oh, that was great, by the way. Don't you love those moments though when you're like,
yeah, they're great. Yeah. They're great. And then everybody's like,
I made that.
Like, yeah.
Those are amaze balls.
They're amaze balls. They're amaze balls. When you know chocolate's done well is it's shiny.
Okay.
So that has to do with the tempering. But the faster and the harder you can get it to snap off the plastic, the shinier it's gonna be. Flip it over, tap it out. Oh, they came out. But you can see that little bit of yellow in there now. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple different types of chocolates and some of these crisp pearls that everybody loves so much.
So it's like a chocolate surprise pinata and everything's edible.
Everything is edible.
Man.
Everything is edible. So normally
Niels, I love you, man.
Love you too. Hazelnut, milk chocolate, mint chocolate, and rum.
This is pretty cool. Can you hear that?
I can hear it.
That's awesome.
I'm going to show you how I make my champagne and strawberry cotton
I'm
candy
down
today.
for that.
All right. This is freeze-dried strawberries ground up, so you really get the strawberry flavor in there. It's not just a flavored
those are
sugar.
little sugar hearts?
Yeah, you have to have
stars?
pink glittery hearts when you're making strawberry and champagne cotton candy, right?
Absolutely.
Here, I typically do about 3 or 4 spins that go into this
one little cup,
tiny little container. Have a nice day.
Hey, this is Steve with Trivia Nation. It's time to get your think on. Today we're asking, who is the 43rd President of the United States? Again, who is the 43rd President of the United States? Hey, before the break we asked you, who was the 43rd President of the United States? Nice work if you knew that that was George H.W. Bush. Please join us at any of our 50 locations in Northeast Florida. Just go to trivianation.com for more details.
That's it for this week's episode. Don't forget to get your tickets for the 300th party for Saturday, February 10th. Barbecue, beer, and fun, you can't go wrong with that. Ticket info is available on my website at iKnowJax.com. I'll be back with another episode of iKnowJax next week. And until then, I'll see you on the internet.